Hey Diablo 2 fans, you're about to learn how to build a cold source. First of all, I want to say thank you, each and every one of you, for coming and checking out my video. I appreciate it a lot, helps my channel out, and if you could, you're watching the video, go ahead and click the like button, and if you like Diablo 2 content, you're going to want to subscribe too. So in this cold sorceress build video, I'm going to be showing you my ancient tunnel running cold source. It's all pretty good gear, pretty high end. I'll also be showing you a budget version of that as well. It's essentially the same builds with the stat points and the skill tree points, but the only main big difference is the gear. I'll be showing you my very high end cold sorceress gear, and then I'll be showing you a budget version too that's more of what you want to do right when you start out your Plugy, or maybe right at the beginning of ladder or something like that. So let's get in that cold sorceress build. Okay, first things first, I'll start off by showing you the stat distribution on this cold source. I just put 10 points into strength here. That's all I needed with the Enigma, because Enigma gives you so many points into strength, which is crazy. I didn't put any into dexterity, I didn't put any into energy, and I stacked everything into vitality. So it's a max vita build, obviously. You can see here my resistances are pretty low, but I'm doing ancient tunnels on player 7, no problem at all. Ancient tunnels is super easy, but it is level 85 area, so I didn't really worry about the resistances that much at all. We'll go over to the skill tree. We'll start off with fire first, because with almost any lightning or cold sorceress, you just put the 1 point into warmth. It's kind of 1 point wonder, so you get that mana regen. Over on the lightning side here, I just put 1 point into telekinesis, 1 point into teleport. You don't really need static in ancient tunnels, but for pretty much anywhere else in the game, you're going to want to have static. So usually you're going to want to have 1 point into static for almost anywhere else. So we'll go over to the cold spells now, and this is where most of your points are going to be. And I'm level 95 if you didn't see that, so I got almost all this stuff maxed out. If you're not this high, you might not be able to max out all of this stuff. But I just got the 1 point into frozen armor, which you're going to end up using. And then, you're going to want to get points into all this stuff. But you max out Ice Bolt, you max out Ice Blast, max out Glacial Spike. I got Blizzard maxed out. And Frozen Orb, it's at 35 here. That looks like 1 point off of maxed out. So this is your main attack, and it synergizes with these three here. So Blizzard's the one you're going to want to use most of the time. And this is Ice Blast is the one that you're going to want to use attacking single targets, or Blizzard's got a little cooldown, whether it's 3 or 4 seconds or something like that, and you blast some of these off to kill some stuff, or the single targets like I had mentioned. The only reason I got all these points in the Frozen Orb is because that synergizes with Ice Blast. So, and with this build, because you'll see as I get into the gear, I have Infinity, you only need 1 point into Cold Mastery. If you don't have Infinity, more points into this would probably be better than more points into that, or spread them between the two, because you'll need to get rid of the enemy resistance some to make you be able to kill stuff faster. So now we'll go ahead and I'll show you the gear for this sorceress that I have right now. I use the Oculus here. I like Oculus better than Hoto. I know you get 10% faster cast rate on it, that then you don't have to put on a ring or something like that. But there's just so many stats on it, and I don't mind the 25% chance to teleport. A lot of people, that bugs the crap out of them. Doesn't bug me. But Hoto is another very good option, obviously. Shaco is pretty standard for almost every magic finding character in the game, so that's pretty obvious. 35 FCR Spirit, that's also pretty obvious. I got War Travelers and Chance Guards. I got a couple faster cast rate rings here, one with Strength and Life, and one with Magic Find. I didn't really worry about resistances, because like I said, I am in the ancient tunnels. If you're going to be running somewhere like Bale or something, you're going to want to have these rings with some resistances on it, and don't worry about Magic Find as much. Maybe even some res boots, or something, if you're going to be running Bale and stuff. Like I said, I have Enigma, so it just gives so many stats, it's unbelievable. Like, the Sorceress doesn't need to 1 to teleport, but with the Magic Find, with the life after kill, damage reduction, 2 to all skills, so much strength, it's bananas. So Enigma, I believe, is the best in-slot item. But you know, that is a point to be debated. 2 to all skills, 25 all res Maras. Like I said, I didn't really need the res, but I decided just to throw Maras on there. On switch, I got Call to Arms. I got a 3/6/4 here, and another Spirit just for bow. If we go down to the charms here, I got this sweet torch, which I was very ecstatic about when I found. I got a pretty good Annie, and as you notice here, I don't have any cold skill grand chimes. You're usually going to want to fill your inventory up with cold skill grand chimes, and that way you'll kill stuff so much faster. But I somehow haven't found any cold skillers, and which is funny, if you see my paladin build, I actually don't have any paladin combat skillers in there either. So it's just a weird, you know, hiccup, part of the random drops that you get in Diablo. So I just filled up with Magic Find small charms, which at this point, diminishing return on Magic Find, these don't really help that much, but I figured I'd put something in here. I could do life, but I didn't need the life. So, and with a sorceress, if you got the Spirit with 55 faster hit recovery, you're going to want to have 1 faster hit recovery charm in your inventory, because that'll get you to 60 faster hit recovery, and that is indeed a break point. So, and with that segue right there, we'll go over to looking at you know, these stats in here. I got over 500% Magic Find, extra gold find, 105 faster cast rate, so that gets me over the break point there. You don't have to worry about the 117, that's just lightning. So 105 is a good spot there. Well, you can see walk around, and right there is where I mentioned 6% faster hit recovery, so that gets me to that one. So that's my high-end cold source build. We'll switch over to the more budget gear here, and I'll show you something good that you'd start off either your Plugy or at the beginning of ladder, something you're going to want to go for. Alright, here we are now with more of my budget build, and this is just a generic thrown together. This is something good you want to use right off the bat if you can get stuff like this, either early ladder or at the beginning of Plugy. So as you can see, I got a Spirit and a Crystal Sword. Everyone knows that that's kind of a go-to early on for casters and stuff at the beginning of ladder. I got a Rhyme Shield over here. It does have the Magic Find on it, and resistance, cannot be frozen. It's got a bunch of good stuff. Just Sha'el, you know, shove that in a Grim Shield, and we're good to go. So that's another good thing to try to get at the beginning if you couldn't quite get you know, a 4-socketed Monarch at the beginning of ladder or something like that. So, and there are some other options, like, you know, if you found a Whiz Spike or something with that 50% faster cast rate, all them resistances. And there also is Spectral Shard, which I don't have on me right here, but it's got 50% faster cast rate. That can get your cast rate up, and then you can just teleport past stuff to get where you're going, to the place where you're trying to Magic Find. So just 3 perfect topazes in a helm. That's good to do right off the bat when you start your Plugy. You know, your Moat Trick and Mephisto, you get that Magic Find in this character. 10% faster cast rate, you know, couple reses. It's just, I just threw together a caster amulet, and you can look that up, or I got caster amulet videos that you can look up with the, you know, it's a rail, a perfect amethyst, any jewel, and any amulet you throw in there. Magic amulet, forgive me, not the rare amulets. But I just got a couple faster cast rate rings, the best you found up until that point. These ones got a little bit of reses, some mana, stuff like that. And you know, for a belt, I got gold wrap on here. But you know, if you ever find something like a Snow Clash, a lot of the, you know, on Battle.net, they'll just throw stuff like that out. You can pick that up and use that, no problem. You obviously see 2 to Blizzard, 3 to Glacial Spike, Chilling Armor, you know, a bunch of good stuff. For the Blizzard Sorceress, I just got a Stealth Armor on here for the faster cast rate, you know, hit recovery, you know, stuff like that. And obviously you can put Stealth in any armor as long as it's got the 2 sockets. Mage Fists are going to be a cheap lower end, that or Tranks Gloves, you know, to get more faster cast rate. And obviously the Chance Guards, like on the other build, would be fine too. This is pretty much just whatever is best you can find at that point in time. So, and as for the only difference between the build, as you can see, I got more points into Cold Mastery, and I didn't put any points into this. This character is only like level 85, I think, or something like that. So I just put the points into Cold Mastery to get the resistance down to help Blizzard out, because this character was mainly used for doing Moat Tricking Mephisto. So you can see I don't even have any armor over here because she doesn't get hit at all. I just go down to the Act 3 for Mephisto and take him out with the Moat Trick. So as you can see, 1, 1, 1 for the static, just 1 in here. So that's all the same, except I did put the 1 point into static over here, and then I put as many points as I could into this stuff You can see this ain't maxed out because the character is lower level, and I put the points in here instead of there. So that's going to be more your early on budget build of a gold source right there. So there you have it. There's my advice on how to build a cold source. As you know, I play on my single player Plugy, so I don't have all the best possible gear in the game. I have what I have found up until this point, which is some pretty good stuff. So if you disagree with any of that stuff, go down in the comments. I want to hear from you. You know, everyone's got their own opinions and you know, ideas on gear and stuff like that, especially the budget one. That really interests me. What you guys think about, you know, what you would use for your budget build, or early on in ladder, or early on in starting a Plugy. So that being said, thanks for coming and checking out the video. If you could, go ahead and click the like button, click the subscribe button, and help me out a bunch. And peace out, YouTube. I'll catch you in the next video.